an absolutely wonderful time to talk to you. It just started raining, which I am a big fan of the sprinkles. I live in part of Tornado Alley, so pretty much every time it rains between April and May, we're at risk of like losing whole property because the shit is real, okay? Leaves a trail of destruction in its wake. But this actually is a good opener for the content. The context of this video is basically April showers bring May flowers. What I'm trying to say in that is your season of tears leads to your season of rewards, like of growth, of blooming, of blossoming. Like right now it's mushy, it's wet, it's cry, it's moody, it's like every single thing that you feel all at once with nowhere really to go. So it's coming out like tears, like sadness, like melancholy, which is totally fine because that's a normal feeling, and we all have every reason to feel a little bit sad right now. Like the state of things is very sad. But if we dwell on the things that are wrong, we will not have the mental capacity to make things right. We won't have, like, you can't be looking over your shoulder about what just happened and not get hit by what's coming at you. You're not prepared for the future when you're stuck in the past, because whatever's going on, there's a mosquito in here, sorry. Whatever's going on, you're looking back. You're, what about this? What about that? And as things pass you, you may think it's opportunity. It may feel like people leaving your life. It may feel like moving, losing your home, losing your job, whatever the hell it is, it still feels like a loss. So that, some losses are temporary removals, just you needed space to think or something, just, it's not permanent. Loss feels permanent. Going bankrupt feels permanent, but it actually only lasts 7 years. Grief feels permanent, but there are stages to it, and it does end, or at least you come to a point of acceptance. I'm just gonna get into it. There's a thing called the dark night of the soul. If you are currently experiencing a situation where it feels like every single thing in your life is falling apart, disappearing, a job you've had a long time that suddenly it's just shifty and inconsistent and you don't know what's going to happen, changes at your job definitely cause changes in your home. In reverse, that drastic changes in your home cause changes in your workplace. So if you're experiencing both of those simultaneously, it's safe to say you might be going through the dark night of the soul. What is the dark night of the soul? In as least amount of comparisons as possible, the dark night of the soul is like having your soul yanked out your body and then put back in. It's awful, it's terrifying, it's very confusing, you feel like you've got mental illness at some point, like you literally think you're batshit crazy at some point. And then you realize that actually the circumstances, the environments, the habits, the way you let people talk to you, that's what's fucking crazy, not you. Your spirit is bumping up against society, and the more you try to go along to get along, the more your body fights and resists you. Those days you used to just be able to jump up at 5 o'clock in the morning and get your coffee and you can get going and just fake it till you made it till 4 or 5 when you get home and you're doing the rest of the routine. That's awesome. Dude, if we didn't have y'all, holy shit, we would all break down. We would all break down. You guys are anchor points. You guys are saints for doing the same thing every day. But then there's other people like myself, and many you don't see, and many who don't make it back out of it, but you get to this point where everyday life cannot sustain you, it's not doing anything for you, you're actually getting some kind of psychosis by doing the same thing every single day. It's Groundhog Day. There's no changes to your routine. You get up at the same time, you do this, you get dressed the same way, you eat the same shit on the way to work, you work at the same place, answer the same calls, answer the same questions, do the same paperwork. You come home, you get your kids at the same time, they do the same routine. Like, that shit is crazy. And some people, god dang, you're strong for being able to do it. Other people can't. They can't. They either don't come from that kind of normalcy and consistency, so it's like a practice thing, it's like a force thing, and at some point or another, the shield falls down, the casing of your life falls away from you, and reveals a blob, an unformed blob Because the formed blob is what society expected from you. It's what your parents expected from you. It's what your friends and peers expected from you. Most of it is not even what you expected from yourself. It's not even what you wanted for yourself. It's most of our personality and our life, like the overall of that, is almost picked, determined, or dictated by those around us, including our kids. It determines when and where you work. You're not going to work second shift because that's as soon as your kids get out of school type thing. Or when they're babies. You don't want to hand them off to strangers. All types of mini details change and alter why you would have to change and alter your routine. But some things are just drastic. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and refer back to 2020. Nobody planned for that. Well, no one it happened to planned for it. And once that took place, it altered the edges of society. It literally put a puncture in reality, and we went from tangible to digital because that was the plan. It was like rolling out a whole new business model, right? It's fine, whatever. We're actually kind of stunted in our growth anyways, and we need to move forward, but we're moving forward technologically a hell of a lot faster than we're moving forward psychologically or emotional. So trying to come onto here and stare into this black ass mirror looking for something to matter, to give purpose. You know what that's called? You know what looking into a reflective surface is called? Like water. Like you look down into a pond, you look down into a river or a stream. That's a reflective surface. What's a mirror? Constantly staring at a mirror is narcissistic as fuck. You fall in love with your own reflection. Well, we've gotten so bad that we're not looking into a mirror, we're looking into a black mirror, like a black freaking hole, and just selling our soul out to it. Like, well, I mean, you can have 1 second of my life every time I swipe, because you're literally giving it away for free. You're not selling it, you're not valuing it, you're giving it away for free. And I'm not saying that you're wasting your time watching people on YouTube or Facebook or anything like that. What I'm saying is the more time you spend with others, the less time you've spent with yourself. And what I say by dark night of the soul is you're already kind of fragmented. You've already kind of got bits and chunks of you, like, okay, I'm gonna, like, a different way to say it. Your persona, I'm gonna call it an outfit, is like a coat made out of pieces of fabric from every one of your relatives' clothes. You've got a mom and a dad, and they sewed a piece onto the jacket. You've got aunts and uncles, and they sewed a piece onto the jacket. And you've got grandparents and great-grandparents, and they've sewn pieces onto the jacket. Okay, this is each patch is what each person is hoping for you to be. That's how they see you. That's their perception. So the coat, the coating, your outside appearance and all is kind of an amalgam of everybody's perceptions of you. That makes you very malleable. That makes you not necessarily adaptable, but kind of like a paper doll. You're gonna keep following their suggestions. You're gonna keep looking for their validation. You're gonna keep looking for their acceptance, whether you get it or not. It's just part of your makeup, right? But not like makeup. Well, when they say and do mean and hateful shit to you, that's what makes you start putting on makeup, trying to alter yourselves, trying to, if I prettied up, they'd be nicer to me. If I spoke better, they would see me as intelligent. They would respect me. They would stop trying to hurt me. They would stop making me feel like I'm not enough. A whole bunch of that came from them being made to feel the same way by the people before them. Like, they're wearing a piece of the same jacket. You know what I'm saying? So it's like your family has this one jacket, and they've been passing this one jacket down, kid after kid after kid. Like, every kid wears the same jacket. There's not two jackets. And every time someone puts the jacket on, it looks a little different on them, but you can tell that's that family. That is that family on that person. Well, sometimes the shit your jacket is made out of is so bad, is so... I've got words I'm not going to say, but I'm just going to deformed. It's not right. It is almost unethical, the jacket, really. And there's such a negative connotation to the jacket that it would actually be better if you were seen naked than with that family's jacket on. And so some of us have had to choose to just be naked. Just bare all, reveal. Like, I don't want what you're giving me. I don't accept what you've given me. This is not mine. This is not a part of me. I am a part of your family, but this jacket does not fit me. I need to get my own. I need to get my own. This one's old. It's worn out. It's saturated with whatever the hell y'all did in it. No, it's not for me. It does not fit me. Even when I try to put it on, it's uncomfortable. It's itchy. I'm allergic to the fabric. Like, shit. It's not that I'm not one of y'all, but I'm not one of y'all. And when you're going through that, it feels like while you're trying to meet yourself, it feels like you're getting rid of everyone else. Because you kind of are. It's a process of elimination. Like, oh, this opinion isn't really mine. That kind of belongs to my mom. This opinion isn't really mine. That kind of belongs to my dad. Oh, this idea never started with me. This was my grandparents. Like, this is their way of thinking. And so, not only are there force dynamics, there's thought processes, there's just learned behavior overall, but there's also, there really is a such thing as your generational curses. All that means is that there's this karmic thing trying to fucking get worked out in everyone's family. The whole entire story is trying to be worked out. Everyone's family has had something happen where it's still trying to be worked out, right? And you can usually figure out what the fuck it is because it's the thing that everybody in your family struggles from. Everybody got some kind of mental illness. Everyone in my family is like prone to alcoholism. Everyone in my family has like heart disease. If they all got heart disease, they also all had heartbreak. Like, that's what happened. They had a heartbreak so bad that they died from it. They died from it. And somehow, probably, possibly, each generation, when it comes to that same spot, that same test, whatever it is, the next one fails, and the next one fails, and it's like, we look at the ones before us, and we judge them, we're like, you fucked up, you didn't do, this because I'm like this, because you didn't. Okay, well, go skip back to their spot, and figure out why they're like that, because I guarantee you, someone either did or didn't do right by them, and this is the best they came up with too. So instead of just criticizing and hating on and being like, you're dumb, you don't know what you're talking about, that happened to you, it's not going to happen to me, instead try to find your better self, the self that understands going through things is going through things, and you don't know before you know. Give them some grace. Mostly due to the fact that they had to take those hits too. They tried that test too and failed. And how many of your relatives had to take this test and walk that hard shit and try to and just fell short? You know how hard it is on you. And you know how long you've been trying to get through what you've been trying to get through. And you know you have relatives that never did get through it. You're the one. You're the one. You're the generational curse breaker. And I can tell you this, if you're having a dark night of the soul, it's guaranteed you're a generational curse breaker, because it's like a closing sale. Everything must go. Everything must go. You must be your family's fucking top-notch exorcist, because you're the one purging all this shit out, bringing it to the light. We're calling wrong. We're bringing up family secrets. We're going to therapy. We're fucking talking about it. We're bringing other people into it, and we're getting a vocabulary for it. We just got words now. When we were younger, there wasn't even a phrase for like rage baiting or reactive abuse or autism or anything. Every single thing was like, you got ADHD, and if you've got your ass whooped, I'll fix it. As if violence actually solves emotional issues. I'm getting off course. What I'm getting down to is a lot of stuff already happened. A lot of stuff that is not forgivable. It's really not. And we kind of have like shell shock, like PTSD from this shit. We're fragmented, severely fucking fragmented. So what has to happen is some, if not a lot of people, have to go through one of two things. Oh, dark night of the soul, which is where basically your Saturn returns. It works like this. Saturn is the planet of karma. It only comes back to the same spot every 30 years. So when you're born, wherever placement Saturn's sitting, it doesn't come back to that spot for 30 years. But right at when you're like 27, 28, 29, or 30, 31, 32, 31, 32, 33, there's this little chunklet that everything you thought you got away with, or just, it was just, you didn't even think you got away with it. You just didn't even know you did something yet. It didn't register. Well, by the time you're getting close to that 30 mark, you hit what's called your Saturn return, or your dark night of the soul. And what that is your karmic debt coming due. Now, you might not have been terrible, and you might not have been around terrible people, but you might have had messed up shit happening to you the whole entire time, and you did not do anything to garner this. By the time your Saturn return is complete, If you keep taking hits, it's like a meteor shower. You just knock you down every time you get up. Every time you get up, it's paying for everything you have done and everything you're about to do. And it doesn't return again until you're 60. So if you become aware of what you did in your teens and your early 20s, and you right your wrongs by your 30s, and definitely by the time, like, because you're about to have kids. You get to the age of God, your inheritance. It's like, did you learn? Have you matured enough to handle real life, adult, like, can you be responsible for another person? Are you accountable for yourself? If the answer is no, at the end of that, it gets worse, I promise you. If the answer is yes, then actually, not only do you get elevated, you get more responsibility, you get promoted, you get literally leveled up in a way you couldn't have went to school for it, you couldn't have bought this degree, you couldn't have done anything except heal your freaking self, understand what need to be understood, and get through the purification process, which is like, it's like a burning away. It's literally like a burning away of all the lesser things. Everything that's not quintessentially you, core you, your essence, burns off, fades off, falls off from having an actual like emotional blow up with someone and being like, these are my boundaries, don't cross them again, to just a silent quitting, leaving. Like, it doesn't even require confrontation. It doesn't require anger or tears or anything, and it's a process that sucks ass. Oh my god, in the beginning, you think you're going crazy, you want to die, you think you're gonna die, you literally start asking people like, am I gonna die from this? What is wrong? Well, I'm 35 now, and I can assure you, no, you won't die. Even though it feels like it, what you are experiencing is a very strange passing away of yourself, but technically it's an ego death. The self that you thought you were, your false sense of self, died off, and all of its former belief systems and its thought processes and perspective, mostly perspective. After that ego death, though, you get a whole new perspective. Like, you're not blinded or confused or distracted by normal things that you used to take in and internalize as if they're really something. You have met your core self, minus the ego. I mean, ego did die, you felt it. But what is left, what remains of you, is your pure essence, who you really are, and what you really are made out of. What you're formed from, and what you're back in alignment with what you, core self, were put on earth to do, like what you're here to put forward. And honestly, the only work that's important work is you figuring out what the hell you came for. But there's no one else knows the answer to this. Like, you cannot look to the left or the right and try to ask somebody, why am I here? What am I supposed to be doing? And for a long time, that's what we've been doing. We've been handing our authority over. We've been handing our certainty over. We've been handing our trust over as if somebody would actually know the answer to that, and they don't. They have their perception, and their perception is based on, well, if I were you and I had your perceived gifts, this is what I would use the gifts I perceive you to have on. So really, they don't know. They don't know what you're made out of, what you come from, what you like, what you don't like. So even their suggestions are from their point of view, not from within the tower, right? Like, you're that temple and the parishioners go in here, like, this is the church, this is the God, this is the how you get in contact. Like, this is your spirit phone. Your heart, your subconscious mind, your intentions. If you mean to find peace, if you mean to be kind, if you mean to do well, you will. You might be misguided at first. You might think you're doing right when really you're fucking someone else over. But you can't know until you know. And if you did not do it with malice, and you did not do it with intent, and you literally, this person was a casualty to something you thought you were doing right, the best thing to do after that is try to reconcile with the person who it harmed, especially if you're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that happened. Oh my. Being able to empathize alone lets the other person know that was in no way intended towards them. It happened, but at the same time, you taking immediate accountability for that, even just like taking accountability for you and all that comes with you, like how your words affect other people, how your driving is affecting other people on the road, how the way that you're sitting in a room or not, because you don't have to be talking to put a vibe out. When it's all this, all the time. It doesn't matter if they're saying nice stuff. That doesn't, bitch, you know I love you. That don't come off as friend. That comes off as hating ass energy. So instead of spending all of our time trying to investigate other people and why they do what they do, how about we investigate ourselves and ask ourselves those same questions? When we put ourselves on trial and be like, what am I doing? Why did I talk to those people like that? What was I thinking? Even when you think you're a good person, you think you're helping, not everybody wants your damn help, right? And as a people pleaser and a caretaker, when someone's like, I don't want your damn help, it goes straight to the heart. You're like, well, what did I do? Why are you upset with me? You have to not necessarily isolate yourself, but yeah, there should be a bubble around you, like some kind of amniotic protective sac. I don't know how else you describe it. Some kind of immune system, a barrier between you and other people's energy, just for the sake of, like, you're not them, they're not you. Don't try to wish to be in someone else's shoes when you could absolutely just be in your own. You could make yourself feel better, and being someone else wouldn't make you feel better. Feeling better as yourself would make you feel better. That's what we need to work on. That's what therapy's for. That's why we have these damn talks. That's why when you see somebody in real life that is just down bad, dude, they're just done. Don't walk past them like you deserve that shit, or who cares, you did it to yourself. At the same time, you don't have to get down in the ditch with them to save them. I've done it way too many times, and a lot of times the empath takes on the burden of the narcissist, and we've also been learning about those relationships. So pretty much as we work through it and more material becomes available to us, we have the right and the responsibility to educate ourselves on emotional intelligence before technology fully takes us away with it. We cannot be having AI be our parents. We already had the goddamn TV be our parents, and look what happened. Y'all saw Cable Guy. Somebody got to kill the babysitter, okay? CILL the landlord is all I'm saying. It's not about seeking external validation. And if you're seeking external, what you should be doing is just finding community, fellowship. Like, I'm a weirdo, you're a weirdo too. No one's actually weird, except there's some shit that's weird, and we found the line this year, okay? Them files that came out, that was so that we could unify across the board and say, this is where we draw the line, guys. This is what's not appropriate. This will never be appropriate. Absolutely none of this is forgivable. And so, as long as we all agree, this is not, this stops here and now. Here and now. And then we actually give a fuck and take action to help recover from what all's happened. If there's 3 million files, and that means there's 3 million victims. Maybe there's a picture per each one. I don't know. What I'm trying to say is the number's fucking outrageous. The numbers are outrageous. And since we can all be online, a website can get a scary amount of traffic that you couldn't get in, like, I'm gonna say in real life, brick and mortar. You wouldn't have 80 million people visit a brothel in a year, but you could have 80 million people visit a website in a year. I get real mad when I think about this. I'm not going to segue into it, but what I'm saying is when the eyes are on you, whether it's in person or abroad, you should be an example of yourself. You're representing yourself. Like, say you were on a sports team and you were on an away game. How you act is representing the school, right? Well, how you act is representing you in real life, and if you're acting according to other people's will and you're acting according to other people's perceptions of you, you're not acting on your own behalf, you're not advocating for yourself, you're just furthering someone else's agenda. And then always at the end, people say, I had no idea. Because you didn't ask questions, or because you didn't care? Because it benefited you, or because it was too scary to look? If it was too scary to look and you turned your head, you was a part of it, you was an accomplice to it. Well, in a non-external way, there's stuff when you look inside, it is too scary to look at. It is too scary to say, I'm a narcissist, I am sociopathic, holy hell, what's wrong with me? Why am I opportunistic? Why am I vindictive? Why am I spiteful? That's the kind of stuff people do not want to say about themselves, but that's the kind of shadow work you have to do to stop doing it. You have to acknowledge that you can be an asshole too. It's not everyone else, it sometimes is you. And until you learn how to tell where you're the asshole and where they are, you're going to keep thinking it's everyone else. Or worse, you're going to be, you're going to think it's everyone else. You're going to be in victimhood mentality. Like, I can't do anything about my circumstances or my environment or my position and my station in life. I can't do anything. I'm helpless. They put me here. When you decide absolutely nobody has say so over the you that you are, They don't put you anywhere. You put them back in their proper place in your life, in your mental space. It's like compartmentalization, but not. So once you go through this little, like I said, like a meeting of yourself, it's kind of like a coming to Jesus thing, but it's not, because it's you meeting your real self and being honest about who you are and how you represent yourself. Once you get down to that, nobody else can tell you who you are or sway your decisions the way they once did, because their suggestions no longer apply. I hope that this video helps someone. I hope that basically, whether you are or are not online, that when you're in your quiet moments, you actually are taking time to self-assess. You are taking accountability for who you are and what you put out into the world. And the more you do that, the more you'll be in charge of. The more you accept responsibility of, the more you'll be given charge over. So build up to it. Rock bottom is the best place to start. There's nowhere to go but up. So if you find yourself just ass up, confused, angry, losing everything, well, that's a good start. Just a blank slate. You just get to start all over, right? You're not dead. You're not sick. You're not hurt. It just feels weird. Trust the process. Do the steps. Do the research on it, because others have been through it and there's words for it now. We can look up how to deal with it. But it is real and it does happen. And it's starting to happen a lot more frequently, because we need people to wake up a little faster. We need the helpers to come help faster. We need the walk-ins to be walking the fuck in and helping. And we need people to be sure of their self, so that the work they're doing stay solid. Not, well, it was a startup, and then after the startup, it kind of didn't, it fizzled out. Why? Because there was no validation in it. There was no feedback to it. And without the feedback, it's like, well, if it's not yielding any rewards, I shouldn't keep doing it. The reward is, 1, you stop suffering, you stop having bad karma. 2, you know yourself, and you start opening doors for yourself that were never going to be open, because it relies on you, like holding the lantern out in front of you, not asking other people to hold a flashlight while you walk through the dark, right? I love you guys. Until next time, stay positive, stay personal, stay authentic, stay in the light. I love you.